important to note over here. So this is something that have to quickly. How about the masjid of the house? You know what I mean by the masjid of the house? It's a sunnah, by the way, to have a masjid in the house. Okay? So you take a little spot within your house and you make it a masjid, right? So if it is a sunnah to have a small masjid within your house, can you make i'tikaf within the masjid of the house? Now this question is more likely to come from women that are asking whether we're allowed to stay home and make i'tikaf within the house as well. Okay? So to answer that, I say that i'tikaf, according to the majority of the scholars, is not permitted within the house. So the masajid of the house are not included according to the majority of the scholars. However, according to the Hanafiya, they say that the masjid of the house is something that a woman can make i'tikaf within as well. Okay? And this is also one of two opinions of Imam al-Shafi'i. So Imam al-Shafi'i always has two opinions. He has, not always, many a times he has two opinions. Okay? A very few times if you compare it all across the fiqh of al-Islami, right? But in many cases he has two opinions, al-qawl al-qadim and al-qawl al-jadid. So there's the old opinion and there's the new opinion. The old opinion was prior to Imam al-Shafi'i's travel to Egypt. And the new opinion was after Imam al-Shafi'i had traveled to Egypt. Because when he traveled to Egypt, he rethought all of his books and so on and so forth, and he edited out some of the things that he didn't, believe in anymore. So he changed some of his opinions when he went to Egypt. Okay, so there's al-qawl al-qadim and al-qawl al-jadid. So according to the old opinion of Imam al-Shafi'i, a woman can also make i'tikaf within the house. And as I said, this is the position of the Hanafiya. And I personally think that, if it is difficult for sisters to make i'tikaf, for example, in the masjid because of a reason or another facility is not available, or they have things to take care of at home, and so on and so forth, then they can take a small spot where they normally worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is their muta'abbad, or a place of worship, right? This is their corner that they've made for worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if they want to use that as a place to also make i'tikaf, that would be fine. But bear in mind that if you end up vowing the i'tikaf and you do it with a time limit and you make it consecutive with all those details that I gave earlier on, right? And I know there's a lot of details there that really need to be heard again and again, right? That's why we're sort of having the lecture recorded. You can listen to it after again, inshallah. So if you vow the i'tikaf and you make it consecutive and you put a time frame to it, then that corner you have to stay there. Except for all the reasons we gave when you're allowed to leave. So it's when you're making the i'tikaf, if you're in a busy day and you have a lot of different things to do and so on and so forth, you make your i'tikaf and then you go ahead and you don't vow for 10 days or so on and so forth, consecutive, etc. Rather, you make a general niyyah of i'tikaf, go in there and then come back out when you want to. Also, you can vow the i'tikaf, but generally, without time constraints. So you can always leave to take care of the kids, to pick this up, to clean that up, or whatever else you have to quickly do, right? So this is something that's important to note over here.